At the moment, this is the most fun that I have had in Diablo Immortal since the launch of the game. The launch was the most hype. We were all go, 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 go. Everyone was, let's try to get the Immortal ship. And now, after it died down, this is the next bit where it's starting to get exciting again for me. There's a couple reasons why, but really this video is just going to be kind of an optimistic, positive video. And the reason I'm standing right here is because while I've been talking, you're going to notice in the background, people are popping in and out. This is one of the boosted dungeons right now. If you actually go to Party Finder and try to get a party, you can get a party very quickly if you create a post for any of the boosted dungeons. In fact, I'll create one, have it auto recruit, and just have it sit here while I'm talking to prove the point. Because at the moment, server merges happened. We have a way larger community on my server than we used to. I'm on the Storm Shield server, and we were all getting pretty used to everyone. You see all the same people, you recognize all the same people, but because 4 servers just got crunched into one Storm Shield server, now we get all of these new bloods, which make the game, and there you go, we got our first person in the party already, which makes the game significantly more enjoyable because getting into actual parties is quicker, and that's what we want to do right now. We're all actually doing the exact same thing, which is what we're doing is we're trying to craft the new set crafting items. So they added a set crafting feature, and there we got another person in the party already. They added a really good set crafting feature into the game where everyone wants to go and do the same thing. So we're all farming the same dungeon. Then they added a whole new community together. So now everyone's interacting around a new feature they like, as well as meeting new people. And that type of combination, there we go, I have a full party. I'm going to leave just so I don't bother them and they can continue and do it by themselves. But that full combination is a perfect combination of making me really enjoy the game because I have something to do and something to focus on, which is grind and craft the new set items. I've already crafted 3 of the shepherd items I wanted. So I've already been able to make success there, and I'm halfway done just within the 2 days I've been farming. I've been trying to get 6-piece shepherd literally the entire time playing the game, and it was frustrating so much to the point that I just wasn't doing it. So now I'm actually out there, and I can just craft my items, and I'm going to complete my shepherd set over the weekend, which is super exciting. I haven't done that in the 5 months I've been playing the game. It's only taking, less than a week to get to that point, a few days to get to that point. But I'm also getting to meet all these new people. In the game currently at the moment, you're going to see here that if I go to my player chat, I'm getting, this message was just a few minutes ago. This one here was somebody that I was just walking by farming. Everyone's super friendly, even if they don't know who I am as a YouTuber. Most people do, and they say nice things. But I'm noticing interactions from people that aren't even related to the YouTube. People just want to play, they just want to have a good time. Maybe I got kind of lucky with like our server at the moment. We merged with some good ones and we got some good people. But I also think that if you're on a server merge, you might be experiencing something similar, which is fresh blood, fresh gameplay, fresh content, the set crafting items, and something to do might be making you enjoy the game more as well. Not gonna lie, I was getting a little bit down about Diablo Immortal until the recent updates kind of helped me enjoy the game again. I think I really needed this. I needed the server merges, I needed the set crafting items, and I needed some optimism for me to really get back into the game. You guys probably see me falling behind in Paragon levels, not playing as much and not streaming as much, because I was kind of getting a little bit disillusioned with the game. The game for me is playing casually with your friends and getting the gear that you want to get. Now that I have a path to victory in terms of actually getting the gear through the set crafting, and now that the server merge has happened and I can actually reliably get parties like quick without people getting mad, because once you get a party and then someone leaves, like now you can continue to keep playing and just queue again. And then there's tips and tricks you can do to keep the smoothness of it going. Like you don't salvage unless you're already in the dungeon. So you start the dungeon, then you go out and you salvage, and then by the time you get back in, people are already, at the boss. Or if someone drops and leaves, you make sure you start the next dungeon, then you queue in for the party finder so somebody joins in time for the last boss, etc. You can keep the runs going. I've been able to have just non-stop, and it's not fans that are joining to help me out. It's just me randomly party queuing. I'm not even using clanmates. I'm literally just queuing Party Finder, and I'm able all day long to find parties and just keep going and grinding because the health of the server is sort of back once the server merges happen. So for me, that was very encouraging once I realized, like, hey, not only is there a lot of players on my server again, but they all actually seem like some pretty legitimately decent people. Finding myself climbing in stats once again. I'm 14 levels behind server Paragon, but I was like 20, almost 30 server Paragon behind. So we're getting closer. We're back up to 6,800 combat rating. I gained like 300 in the last 2 days just from grinding these items. Because once you start getting exceptionals and a couple decent drops here, then you really start getting your combat rating quickly. I've got an upgrade there. I just got an upgrade here. Getting triple drops and stuff again feels good. The stats are going back up. What I'm interested to see now is I think a lot of people are going to start shooting up combat rating very quickly because we have a reason. Like we all want to go to the set, craft sets, right? We all want to finish our sets. So people are going to be doing that. And the byproduct of that is people's combat rate is going to get higher because they're going to be grinding on these set items. And so I'm kind of curious to see where the rating goes. As it stands, me and my warband, we can beat every warband boss except one. And I think we're pretty close to actually beating it. We just need a couple people like me that, break over combat rating requirements so we can actually have some damage on it. And then we're going to be done. And at that point, I don't personally know of any content coming to the game that requires higher combat rating. Hell 6 difficulty leak was proven to be false. The guy who actually created the Hell 6 leak contacted me back to tell me, hey, sorry, it was just a meme that I made, etc. So I don't know about any future content, which is very curious to me because at this point, combat rating is almost just used as an arbitrary number to determine like who's playing more. Especially now that the combat rating cap in terms of Challenge Rift has been completed. We've had Challenge Rift 200 completed. So as everyone starts getting there, and I myself, I'm on like the 180. So I'm like I'm sure I'll be, up there at some point, but I'm at 180. I'm not getting terribly far off having all Challenge Rift 200 completed as well. So I would assume that at some point we're going to be getting Challenge Rift 300, 400, etc., or else the combat rating increase doesn't really make a lot of sense. I'm wondering where the next content is going. I know for a while we were all debating about the new zone. We had seen on Reddit they had mentioned there was going to be a new zone. We still haven't heard anything about that. I don't get any sneak peeks or anything at the moment in terms of what content's actually coming to the game. And the data miner was only able to find things like Battle Royale, PvP, and a fishing mode, but nothing related to having to have higher combat rating as it stands. We've also had multiple ways in the game added in which we can gain combat rating. I mean, things like the ancestral properties, if you look at these, are gaining people combat rating fairly quickly if you actually look at it. 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, right? So I'm getting myself, what would that actually be? 105? Is that 105 combat rating, I believe? Bonus. So that's 105 combat rating I wouldn't have had before. And eventually, these Heliquaries, I mean, this just keeps going. We just keep gaining combat rating. I'm at plus 360 combat rating for this as well. So eventually, what I'm saying is, this combat rating's got to be going somewhere, right? I mean, if it's only for PvP to determine who's going to be stronger than who in PvP, combat rating's not really that important because PvP doesn't really have rewards that matter if we don't talk about the Immortal system. We do know one thing, which is Paragon levels aren't going to be useless because there's the actual Paragon trees, and you can queue into multiple Paragon trees. And if you look at this, you might think, okay, well, they are going to be useless because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? There's 6 different trees. That goes to 600 Paragon. So 600 Paragon is where they said the cap is for Hell 5, right? If we actually look at the difficulties here, you look at the different difficulties, and you actually have to go to the West March to do it, but I'll go there real quick. If you look at the different difficulties, it says what Paragon those difficulties are for. Well, 600 Paragon seems to be the maximum in the game at the moment because that's when you cap out all of the Paragon trees, and that is when you cap out the entirety of Hell 6 difficulty. Here we go. So look at this. Paragon 240 to 600. You see that? Drops equipment for 240 to 600. So once everyone hits 600 Paragon, the game is GG'd. It's GG'd. There's nothing left under 600 Paragon. So we know that before 600 Paragon, they have to increase. They're not going to let the game die at 600 Paragon. So we know there's going to be, they have to do more difficulties, more zones, something by 600 Paragon. And we're at, what's the in-game server Paragon right now? I think I'm at 328. 2 per level, so we have to go 270 levels. We know they have 135 days, aka 3 to 4 months. Now, there is a few things that Data Miner has seen related to events and some drops that could happen in December. So we're looking at potentially the 21st of December could be a potential drop release date for some more major update type of content in the game. This is all wild speculation, mildly data mined stuff, reading between the lines type of stuff, but we're looking way into the future at this point if you've made it this far into the video. But we can basically read between the lines because Hell 5 difficulty gear in terms of set, you can get the same set pieces at once you're 240 Paragon. Once you're at 600 Paragon, legendary items will no longer be better. And at that point, once we're at 600 Paragon, there will be no items left to grind in the game other than resonance. So it will be time-gated materials only, and there will be no reason to even continue to play the game after 600 Paragon. Again, 135 days into the future, and we're looking at probably December release dates for more major content. That's what I'd be looking for. As of right now, Diablo Immortal is some of the most fun it's been to play. And if I don't look into the future problems like I've been discussing, seeing that, okay, well, I'm here and I'm enjoying the game now, but what am I enjoying the game for? If I don't look at that problem, the game's actually enjoyable right now. There is that boogeyman in the future of what's happening, but that's sort of creating problems for today that can be dealt with by tomorrow. As of today, right now, I'm just going to be climbing the server Paragon. I'm going to go back to server Paragon level. I'm going to farm the shepherds that I want. I'm halfway done in only 2 days. And I'm very encouraged in terms of how I'm feeling about my server in particular, because I like the people and it seems much more active. And I really hope that all the servers that didn't get a chance to experience the server merge will get the same thing if you like population. You're also welcome just to join Storm Shield server. You can do server transfers. So if you want to join my server, you're always welcome here. It would be kind of funny to have like a mega server if everyone just joined the same server literally anyway. That could be a pretty good meme. But for today, I'm feeling pretty good. And for tomorrow, we know where the future of the game is going to go because it's post 600 Paragon. It has to be. It's the only thing that really makes sense. I love you all. Consider liking the video, subscribing, and I'll see you on the next video.